But it is holding. It's not holding its altitude too well. There it goes. I went around it. What did I do? Block the frequency. I have the force, the power. Rise up. Rise. Rise up. There you go. All right. I could tell you that's the new watch I got that controls it, but it's not. So, like I said, UpAir gives you that tolerance with side to side, up and down. So it's actually, you know, pretty close in there. But what's weird is it's acting like somebody's trying to fly it. But when the wind comes in, I understand, but sometimes there's no wind and it acts like someone's got the controller. The controller's right there. The other thing I don't like, and you can change that in Mission Planner if you want, is the return home function. Alright? When you click this switch, look how low I am. Let me come down a little lower. Alright, I'm going to touch the controls here. Alright, you got the idea that the GPS is actually working. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to let it come down. Let me go forward. We're going to come down. And we're like, oh, I'm almost home and the battery's almost dead. You know, I don't want to do much, so, but I didn't touch nothing. It seems like it goes up to its last position. Let me bring it over here. I'm going to bring it down so it's almost bouncing off the ground. And yes, bounce from an APM board is called, oh God, now I forgot. All the wind blowing down, you're getting turbulence. That causes that. So if you can hover any closer than what you see right there without jitters, you're doing pretty good. But anyways, I want to return to home. The thing's right there. I'm low on battery. I'm at 10.6. This thing's going to burp out at 10.4. I hit return home. What's it do? It decides to use up all its energy to fly up. Now, double click, bring it back up. Let's bring it down. And watch how you descend, because this guy will descend pretty fast. Alright, now, there's some more wind. I'm in position hold. Let's see what it does. Now that you're not throttling, you're just hovering. Now look at this thing. What are we doing? She's fighting it. She's fighting it. Fighting it. A little devil going through here. Alright. So I'm not saying anything bad, not saying anything good, but it does have a good and bad days. I've had good and bad days with all my drones. Okay, we're 10.61. She's going to get ready to go return home. But if you're smart, around 10.60, try to get it back before it goes into return home. You know, make sure you're in position hold. It's windy right now. Are we going to get a tip over? You know, it's very easy to get a tip over. This thing's already leaning towards me because the wind's coming this way. It's fighting the wind. So I'm going to find the flattest spot. Try to always find the flattest spot that you can, and you're going to get that, you're going to get turbulence. Alright, see, and I'm sitting here fighting just to get it down. You know, I do a return to home, but I don't have enough area. Bring it down when you can. The minute you get it down, hold that stick straight down. Straight down, straight down. I just lost my cap. And look at it, how long it took to shut off. It's still going. It's still going. I'm going to lose it if it doesn't shut down. It's not going to shut down. There it goes. Alright? So, it showed it. Alright? That's what I wanted to see. There's the shut off sequence. It's been flying for 5 minutes. The meters, we didn't go anywhere. We didn't move on the GPS. That's what I wanted to show you. Biggest problem with this thing is you're holding the stick down, you want it to shut off, and sometimes it takes forever. Alright? Other times it'll shut off within 5 seconds. So be aware of that. Maybe on the new app they'll have the auto shutdown when it lands. But make sure, let me pull the battery, make sure you hold this stick dead center, wiggle it if you have to. You can feel the little bump. If you're a little bit off like this, it doesn't realize where you are, but make sure you're dead center and just hold it there. You know, sing a song in your head. You know, I wish I don't crash. I hope I don't crash. Because I've had people hold it and do that. You do that. Guess what that in that position is? Ground, straight up in the air. Alright? Or it's one of these. Flip over on its side, mess up your props. Alright? So I got to clean up. It's windy. Let me shut the transmitter down. I'm going to start charging some batteries. I got the day off. Might as well fiddle. Not a bad drone for the money. Really cool. I'm digging that one. The Phantom 3 is also a great buy. I like all drones. I really wouldn't give my opinion up on any of them. If you don't have a lot of money or you don't know how to repair these, don't buy a crashed one. This one's really hard. The UpAir isn't an easy thing to get into. The Phantom 4, the engineers from Apple, they decided to step in and say, hey, we're going to make this thing so it's literally impossible to get into. And it is. It's a really pain in the ass. When I had to open this up, I scratched the body, and I got OCD, and I kind of don't like it, but I did get it out. I smoothed it out a little bit, but it is an issue to pull that apart. There's so much technology in that drone than there is in that. Total difference. But you can see it in the flight performance and the money. And I'm not saying the UpAir is a bad drone. Trust me, I fly it every day if I can. And I try different batteries. I really don't like these batteries. I get longer run time out of regular LiPos. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't. The new one with the Wi-Fi coming up. If it can react as well as a Phantom 2, I would say buy it. All right, but unless I get one and I can prove it differently, you get what you pay for. That's the bottom line on anything. On anything, you get what you pay for. When the thing first came out, they said, "Oh, it's cheap money and it's the clone to the Phantom." Two different animals. Two different animals. If you want to go against the drone, then you would probably go against the Solo or the Iris Plus, which I have the Iris Plus, and it's more or less like the Phantom 4. It just has the bugs and issues that the UpAir has. It still does the same thing, the APM boards. I don't know why. You know, it'll be a big argument with the APM guys, but you know, the Areno board, it needs time to think. It needs a way to calibrate. If you guys ever got into a Hubsan, the Hubsan drones, even their Pro, their most expensive one, you have to calibrate every time before flight, which that gets to be a pain in the butt too, because I have a little teeny Hubsan, and it takes a while on the first calibration to get it, and then you flip it down and do the second calibration, but you have to calibrate it every battery you put in. And that's the one thing I kind of don't like about APM boards, is you put it down there, you wait for satellites. I can literally put the UpAir battery in, put it over here, and fly the 4, and within the 23-minute flight, which is about the maximum I've gotten out of that so far, that will have enough satellites to fly, and that's honest engine. Sometimes you have a good day. You know, within 2 or 3 minutes, you have all full satellites, but that's what you deal with back and forth, you know. Where the Phantom 3 and the Phantom 4, they've locked on the satellites. I think the quickest time I've ever seen was like half a minute, you know, I was ready to fly. Actually, by the time I'm done fiddling with my phone, it's ready to fly, you know. But that's my opinions for the day. I don't want to do videos all day. I want to fly. It's my day off. I don't care about the wind. There's a nice lake about 2.5 miles over that way. I'm not going there, but the drone will. Alright, and I will probably try the UpAir. I'll get as close as I can, but the Phantom 4, I can literally go to that lake and drop down and fly around the lake and come back up and come back home. It's time limitation too. You need enough time to get there, and you need enough time to come back, and that's what's nice about the app on the DJI. It gives you that limit that says, hey, in sport mode, I can get back in about 2 minutes. So what it does is when it returns home, it literally goes into sport mode and it flies as fast